Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Xander's difficult situation, fire breaks out, Harris harmed and Lucas gets tricky. Days of Our Lives uncover that Kate Roberts Brady will spy Lucas Horton back into public and totally go crazy. When Kate acknowledges Lucas is placing himself in more peril, she'll tear into her child and urge him to be more cautious. Meanwhile, Sarah Horton and Xander Cook will struggle to resist the growing attraction between them. It seems to be Xander will go for a rush to think about that enticement as opposed to giving up in bed with Sarah. Obviously, Days fans realize Xander as of late gotten a call about dispensing with somebody. The individual on the opposite stopping point said they'd be in contact, so Xander might get one more call or text that extends to new subtleties on this lethal employment opportunity. Assuming dangers to Sarah and Victoria Horton Cook's well-being are involved, Xander might be torn about whether to oblige the requests. Clyde Weston typically isn't timid about throwing dangers around and conveying orders, so it's difficult to see the reason why he'd conceal his character. Stefan DiMera, then again, would presumably need to be more watchful. Xander as of late appeared at the DiMera manor to blame E.J. DiMera for settling on that unfavorable decision, however he ended up giving Stefan refreshes all things being equal. Maybe Stefan was acting ignorant and entirely Xander's assistance. If Stefan learns that Ava Vitali is working with Harris Michaels, he might consider Harris to be even more of a threat and urge Xander to get rid of him. Nonetheless, Days spoilers say Xander is attempting to remain on a redemptive way, so it could be another person who fires at Harris on Friday's DOL episode and leaves him genuinely harmed. Meanwhile, Trip Johnson will caution Ava to quit ruthlessly cross-examining Wendy Shin about their relationship and trust that they're both really dedicated to one another. Trip might also mention that Stefan was there recently after a hookup and convince Ava to let him go. All things considered, no good thing can emerge out of Ava and Stefan's association. Trip and Wendy may be pressured to keep quiet about Ava's affair, which turned real when she slept with Stefan recently. Afterward, Days say Ava will crack when she finds Harris draining out, so she'll need to get him some clinical help as quickly as possible. At the Horton home, Julie Williams will appreciate story time with Thomas DiMera and Charlotte DiMera. That will be the fleeting tranquility before all hell breaks loose, since a fire at the Horton house will bring some stunning news. Soon Chad DiMera makes that searing disclosure alongside Julie, so they'll scramble to get Charlotte, Thomas and Doug Williams, Doug Davidson, out. Since Chad urged Clyde at Statesville, he might lament irritating the wrathful detainee, assuming Clyde requested this fire. Following that, Teresa Donovan will attempt to forego the pleasant experiences she had with Brady Black and concentrate on Alex Kyriakis during an upsetting discussion about addiction. According to Days of Our Lives, Teresa will feel closer to Alex, but she won't be able to forget how she feels about Brady. John's admission, Harris faces Clyde, collaborating, Sloane's penance. Days of Our Lives demonstrate that John Dark will admit to Steve Johnson that he met with Constantine Melionis. Clyde Weston will have a visit from Harris Michaels at Stateville. From Tate Black, Brady Black and Teresa Donovan will compare notes. Sloane Peterson wants some time to herself with her husband. Stephanie Johnson makes an idea to Everett Lynch, Blake Barris, what's going on here? John Dark opens up to Steve Johnson. Days of Our Lives uncover that John will open up to Steve as opposed to trusting in Marlena Evans, Deidre Lobby. Marlena may be John's only hope, and sadly, Steve knows a lot more about the situation than he admits. Marlena has forever been John's stone and has assisted with getting him through a few unbelievable things similarly as he has her. By remaining silent and refusing to reveal what he knows, Steve believes he is protecting John. Is Steve safeguarding John or himself? What does Steve be aware of John's past as the pawn? What occurred in Constantine's old neighborhood? Will Steve at any point come clean with John about his past? Will John at any point excuse Steve for remaining silent? DOL Harris Michaels defies Clyde Weston. Harris will make one more excursion to Statesville to defy Clyde. Harris realizes that Clyde is behind this medication ring and still up in the air to bring him down. Unfortunately, the deceased drug dealer severed Clyde's connection to the drug ring. Might Harris at any point get Clyde to goof? What sort of dangers will Clyde make this time? Brady and Teresa will receive a note from Tate on John's confession, Harris confronting Clyde, comparing notes, and Sloane's sacrifice. Nonetheless, both of his folks are exceptionally stressed over him. Brady and Teresa will contrast notes with check whether they are getting the entire story. Could Brady and Teresa at any point sort out whether or not Tate is truly alright by contrasting their letters from him? Will Brady and Teresa sort out that Tate is in a difficulty of some sort? Days of Our Lives Stephanie Johnson has an idea for Everett Lynch. Stephanie and Everett have rejoined since he has come to Salem and plans on remaining there. However, Stephanie is unaware that Everett is Bobby Everett, Jada Hunter's former husband. Is Stephanie going to suggest that they live together? Is it Stephanie's intention to inform everyone that they are back together? Sloane needs only some alone time with Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, however it appears to be like the universe is scheming not to permit that to occur. Are Sloane's transgressions returning to cause major problems for her since she has taken Nicole Walker's, Ariane Zucker, kid from her? Will Sloane's life ever get back on track, or will it continue to spiral out of control until she makes things right? John tells the truth to Steve about Constantine's unpropitious dangers. On the Days of Our Lives, spoilers bother John telling the truth with Steve about his mystery meeting with Constantine. Constantine posthumous. Clearly, John's new meeting with Constantine is at the forefront of his thoughts. He went into the gathering needing replies, however presently he most likely has more inquiries. Additionally, who can say for sure what amount of this extraordinary association he even recalls? Since he doesn't feel he can converse with Marlena, Deidre Lobby, about what went down right now, he winds up examining the experience with Stephen Nichols. Ideally, his dark fix accomplice can assist him with sorting out the following game plan. Since the Greek conman is dead set on retribution, and he will utilize the pawn to make it happen. Managing the results. With one more fruitful medication bust added to its repertoire, the Salem PD harmed Clyde activity, taking a monstrous measure of spoiled item off the roads. There were destructive results to that assault, notwithstanding. A youthful cop shot and killed one of the supposed street pharmacists. When Harris goes out to Statesville to face Clyde about the bust, what dangers will this criminal brains release? In the meantime, Tate Dark is at present dwelling in an adolescent office. Dissimilar to his concise stretch in prison, things appear to be going okay. In any case, Teresa of how their kid is doing. As a result, they compare the letters that their son wrote to each of them. Can they unwind once they read them? Run expectations and ideas? Sloane's greatest desire currently is for a peaceful night with Eric. Up to this point, the whole world is carefully neutralizing her. All things considered, she's done a truly horrendous thing she really wants to correct in the near future. So who's going to intrude on her urgent requirement for harmony and calm this time around? Stephanie and Everett are once more a loving couple in another setting. Now that they are a thing, search for Stephanie to make an idea to Everett. Assuming Stephanie understands what's great, she'd propose that Everett tell every bit of relevant information and only reality with regards to as long as he can remember, and in addition to the bit he considers commendable for her to be aware. On the off chance that you missed it, Daytime had a few unbelievable exhibitions in January. What's more, Cleanser Center Point struggled with picking precisely who ought to be granted stalwart entertainer praises.